Imagine this. The year is 490 BCE, and the fate of Western civilization hangs in the balance. The mighty Persian Empire, the largest the world has ever seen, has set its sights on the small but proud city-state of Athens. The Persians, led by King Darius I, have already crushed rebellions and conquered nations. Now, their massive fleet has landed on the shores of Marathon, just 26 miles from Athens. The Athenians are outnumbered, outgunned, and seemingly doomed. But they have one thing the Persians don't: a burning desire to protect their freedom, their homes, and their way of life. The Athenian generals gather their forces, a mere 10,000 hoplites, heavily armored soldiers armed with spears and shields. They're joined by 1,000 Plataeans, their loyal allies. But even together, they're facing a Persian force of at least 25,000 soldiers, with some ancient sources claiming the number could have been as high as 100,000. Imagine that, 10-to-1 odds. The Persians are not just an army, they are an empire, a tidal wave of soldiers, archers, and cavalry, all trained to conquer and destroy. The Athenians are outnumbered, outgunned, and seemingly doomed. But they have one thing the Persians don't: a burning desire to protect their freedom, their homes, and their way of life. Before the clash at Marathon, the Athenians had already faced the Persians in a smaller but equally critical engagement. The Persian fleet had sailed to the island of Eretria, a close ally of Athens, and after a brief siege, they crushed the city. This victory sent shockwaves through Greece. The Persians then moved to Marathon, a flat plain perfect for their cavalry and archers to dominate. The Athenians knew they couldn't let the Persians march on Athens unchallenged. One man, General Miltiades, convinces them to take the fight to Marathon. "If we wait," he argues, "the Persians will destroy us. But if we strike first, we might just have a chance." The Athenians march to Marathon and take up position on a hillside overlooking the Persian camp. For days, the two armies stare each other down, neither side making the first move. But then, on September 12th, 490 BCE, the Athenians see their opportunity. The Persian cavalry, their most feared weapon, is mysteriously absent. Miltiades gives the order, "Charge!" But here's where strategy came into play. The Athenian general, Miltiades, had fought alongside the Persians in earlier campaigns. He knew their tactics, their strengths, and their weaknesses. He proposed a bold plan. Instead of waiting for the Persians to attack, the Athenians would take the fight to them. But not head-on. That would be suicide. Instead, Miltiades devised a pincer movement, a tactic that would use the terrain and the element of surprise to their advantage. The Athenian army would form a phalanx, a tightly packed wall of shields and spears, but with a twist. The center of their line would be thinner, deliberately weaker, while the flanks would be stronger and deeper. The plan was to lure the Persians into attacking the center, then close in from the sides, trapping the enemy in a deadly embrace. It was a risky move, but Miltiades knew it was their only chance. When the battle began, the Athenians charged down the hillside, their phalanx moving as one. The Persians, confident in their numbers, took the bait and focused their attack on the weaker Athenian center. For a moment, it seemed like the plan had failed. The center began to buckle under the weight of the Persian assault. But then, something extraordinary happened. The stronger Athenian flanks, disciplined and unwavering, began to close in. Like the jaws of a trap, they squeezed the Persian forces from both sides. The Persians, now surrounded, panicked. Their formations broke, and they were driven back toward the beach where their ships were anchored. The Athenians fought with relentless fury, their spears and shields cutting through the chaos. The Persians, once so confident, were now scrambling to escape. The Athenians sprint down the hill, their heavy armor clanking, their spears gleaming in the sunlight. The Persians, caught off guard, are stunned by the sheer audacity of this attack. The Athenian phalanx crashes into the Persian lines like a tidal wave. The fighting is brutal, hand to hand, shield against shield. The Athenians, fueled by their love of freedom, fight with unmatched ferocity. Slowly, the Persian lines begin to crumble. They retreat to their ships, desperate to escape. The Athenians have won an impossible victory. But the battle isn't over yet. The Persian fleet sets sail for Athens, hoping to attack the undefended city. The Athenians know they must warn their people. So, they call upon their fastest runner, Pheidippides. This legendary messenger sprints the 26 miles from Marathon to Athens, his lungs burning, his legs screaming in pain. When he arrives, he gasps out just 2 words, "Nike, Nike, victory, victory," before collapsing and dying from exhaustion. His sacrifice ensures Athens is saved. And so, the Battle of Marathon became a symbol of courage, determination, and the triumph of the underdog. But Pheidippides' run left an even greater legacy. Centuries later, during the first modern Olympic Games in 1896, organizers created a long-distance race to honor his heroic sprint. They called it the Marathon, and it's been a test of human endurance ever since. So, the next time you hear about a marathon, remember, it all began with one man's run to save his city, and a battle that changed the course of history. And that, my friends, is the story of the Battle of Marathon, a tale of bravery, strategy, and the enduring spirit of humanity. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that light the way through history, philosophy, and life's greatest lessons. Until next time, keep the lantern burning